In this video, the surprising benefits of US LLCs for non-residents that you need to know about. We're diving into something that's a total game changer for entrepreneurs, digital nomads, and global business owners, forming a US LLC as a non-resident. You might be thinking, an LLC, isn't that just for Americans? No. If you're living outside the US, whether in Europe, Asia, Latin America, or anywhere else, a US LLC can unlock a world of opportunities. We're going to go deep into some of the lesser known perks that you won't find in most business guides or videos. So whether you're dreaming of launching an e-commerce store, freelancing globally, or building a tech startup, stick around. Let's get started. So a US LLC, or limited liability company, is a business structure that combines the flexibility of a partnership with the liability protection of a corporation. It's super popular in the US, but here's the kicker. You don't need to live in the US or be a US citizen or even visit the country to form one. Non-residents from anywhere in the world can set up a US LLC in states like Delaware, Wyoming, or New Mexico, often online in just a few days. Why does this matter? A US LLC gives you access to the world's largest economy, robust legal systems, a global business reputation, and payment processing, all without needing a US visa or green card or even visiting the United States. According to the US Small Business Administration, over 2.5 million LLCs are active in the US, and a growing number are owned by non-residents. If you want a US LLC, you're already convinced. By the way, MyLatinLife, we have a service where we can set up your US LLC for you. We can obtain the EIN number for you, help you open bank accounts, and just generally put this US LLC in your hands. So if you're interested in that service, there's a link in the description. You can book a call with us. We can discuss, get the process started. But let's dive into the first perk of US LLCs. So one of the biggest draws is tax flexibility. For non-residents, a US LLC can be a tax-efficient powerhouse. But it's not what you might expect. If your LLC doesn't generate income from US sources, like selling products physically in the US, and you're not a US resident, you typically don't owe federal income taxes to the IRS. That's right, your LLC's profits can flow through to you, and you report them in your home country, where tax treaties or lower rates might apply. Does that make sense? The US has tax treaties with over 60 countries, including Canada, the UK, Australia, and Mexico. These treaties often prevent double taxation, meaning you won't be taxed in both the US and your home country on the same income. For example, if you're a non-resident running an e-commerce business through a Delaware LLC, selling globally but not in the US, your LLC might owe zero federal taxes, and you'd only deal with taxes in your home country. Some states like Wyoming and Nevada don't impose state income taxes on LLCs, and they don't require annual reports from non-resident owners. This minimizes compliance costs. Plus, if your LLC does have US sourced income, you can elect to be taxed as a corporation for better rates in certain cases. This flexibility lets you tailor your tax strategy to your business model, whether you're freelancing, dropshipping, or running a tech startup. Now let's talk about something every business owner cares about: protecting your assets. A US LLC offers limited liability, meaning your personal assets, like your savings, your car, your home, are generally shielded from business debts or lawsuits against your LLC. This is a big deal for non-residents, as the US legal system is one of the most robust in the world for business protection. Here are the hidden advantages. US LLCs are recognized globally for their strong legal framework. If you're operating in a country with less predictable legal systems, a US LLC adds a layer of credibility and security. For example, if a client sues your LLC, they typically have to navigate US courts, which can be costly and complex, discouraging frivolous lawsuits. States like Delaware and Wyoming are especially popular because their courts have decades of precedent protecting LLC owners. And get this, for non-residents, the liability protection extends across borders. If your LLC faces a claim in your home country, the U.S. structure often complicates creditors' ability to seize your personal assets, as they need to pierce the LLC veil in a U.S. court. This legal fortress makes a US LLC a smart choice for high-risk ventures like consulting, real estate, or online marketplaces. Now let's talk about banking and financial access. A practical perk that's a lifeline for non-residents: access to US banking and payment systems. Setting up a US LLC allows you to open a US business bank account, often remotely with banks like Mercury, Relay, or Wise. This is huge because US bank accounts are trusted worldwide, making it easier to receive payments from clients in dollars, the world's dominant currency. And the lesser known part of this is a US LLC gives you access to US based payment processors like Stripe, PayPal Business, or Square, which are often unavailable or restricted in many countries. For example, if you're a drop shipper in Brazil or a freelancer in Honduras, a US LLC lets you use Stripe to accept payments from global customers with probably lower fees and faster payouts than local alternatives. And there's more. Some US banks offer merchant accounts or credit lines to LLCs, even for non-residents, based on your business's revenue. This can fund inventory, marketing, or expansion without relying on high-interest loans in your home country. Plus, a US bank account tied to your LLC can simplify currency conversions, reducing losses from exchange rates and fluctuations. So your US LLC is like a financial gateway to the US economy. Now let's talk about privacy and anonymity, something that doesn't get enough attention. For non-residents, a US LLC can offer surprising levels of anonymity, especially in states like Wyoming. These states don't require US LLC owners to publicly disclose their names in formation documents, unlike many countries where business registries are fully transparent. Here's the hidden gem. In Wyoming, for example, you can use a registered agent to file your LLC paperwork, keeping your identity off public records. This is a big deal if you're in a high-profile industry like crypto or consulting, or operating in a country with political or economic instability. There's a million reasons why you would want a layer of privacy, and your LLC's public face is just the name and agent's address, shielding your personal assets from prying eyes. While privacy is a perk, you still need to comply with IRS reporting if your LLC has US sourced income, and some banks may require owner details for account opening. Still, compared to jurisdictions where your name is plastered online, a US LLC offers a rare balance of transparency for compliance, as well as privacy for peace of mind and just more privacy than a lot of people can get in their home countries. Let's wrap up with a benefit that elevates your business on the world stage: global credibility. A US LLC instantly boosts your brand's reputation, as the US is seen as a hub of innovation and trust. Whether you're selling on Amazon, pitching to investors, or onboarding clients, a US LLC signals professionalism and reliability. Nobody bats an eye when you ask to get paid via a US LLC. But that type of thing might happen if you ask them to pay a Panama entity or, a Belize entity, things like that. So a US LLC gives you seamless access to US marketplaces and platforms. For example, non-residents with a US LLC can sell on Amazon FBA, Etsy, or eBay US with fewer restrictions than foreign businesses. You can also list apps on the Apple Play Store or Google Play under a US entity, which simplifies compliance and tax reporting. And get this, a US LLC can help you tap into US-based investors or crowdfunding platforms like Kickstarter, which often require a US entity. If you're a tech founder in Brazil or Argentina, this access can be a game changer. Plus, operating as a US LLC lets you leverage US trademarks and IP protections, safeguarding your brand globally. Your LLC isn't just a business structure, it's a passport to the US market. From tax flexibility and liability protection to banking access, privacy, and global credibility, a US LLC is a powerhouse for non-residents looking to thrive in the global economy. Whether you're a freelancer, e-commerce seller, or startup founder, these benefits, many of which fly under the radar, make a US LLC a no-brainer for international entrepreneurs. We set up tons of these LLCs for our clients. A lot of people with Paraguay residency also do a US LLC as kind of a 1-2 punch. So we can help set up that LLC for you. There's a link in the description. You can book a call with us. We can get you residency, citizenship, US LLCs, banking around the world. And we'd love to help you out. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more business and global mobility tips. See you in the next video.